Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Tonight we are jumping into the world of the TV talent show, and it's going to be Australian Idol and this year's competition 2025. There's a particular contestant who is using auto-tune during his performance, and it's obviously an artistic choice. That's what he's using for his vocals. Obviously, people will argue whether it should be allowed on singing competitions, of which I think this is one. But I have been asked to take a look at this because he does the performance and then he's asked to sing without the auto-tune after his performance. So we will just jump into a bit of the performance and you'll be able to tell straight away that it is an artistic use of auto-tune. You know, he's not trying to hide or anything. Let's have a listen.
He said, girls just wanna dance. Girls just wanna have fun. I don't know your plans.
And you can see clearly calibrated to A440, and I can just keep moving it on.
Right, that's too bad now. I see that you worked all night, you're trying to cash out. You and your friends are trying to lash out. And I'm not the one to tell them stand down. It's the...
So now when we get to the end of the performance and the judges, basically they say that it was all very impressive, but they'd like to hear him without the auto-tune to see if he could actually sing it live. So that's when we then move on. I just want to see if I think then the microphone changes, because it looks like we have like a typical SM58, and now this is a white microphone. It clearly does change, and it's a wireless mic. So what we're going to do is now listen to this live vocal at the end.
The machinery.
Mm-hmm. You want me to hear me sing?
Yes, I do.
It's funny how things never change.
And I mean, the reason that I've paused it and just didn't say anything is because instantly this sounds a bit weird. And this is, just for clarification, them asking for nothing on the vocal. Now, you know what I'm wondering is why he's using a mic at all. Because if they said, well, can you just sing it without the machinery, and he's only standing just a matter of feet away from the judges, why would you be using another microphone? That seems a bit weird to me, because in order to use auto-tune, you have to go through a microphone. Like the XLR will go into the auto-tune, whatever you're using, whatever particular make it is. But that's the way that it's got to work. It's got to intercept the vocal before it gets to the ears of the listeners. So yeah, already using a mic seems a bit weird. And you know, I have been on a show like this, a very similar show in the UK, and from memory, for the auditions, apart from at Wembley Arena, the judges' auditions, it was all with boom mics. So they got the sound of the room that you just performed, not going through a speaker or anything, because the judges are right there in front of you. But we'll listen on. Just the fact that he's hit C#4 with the first note, that he slides up and then he's perfectly on that line, with it sounding a bit weird. It sounds like all that's happened here really is an adjustment in the differential of the auto-tune, not that it's been turned off.
In this old town, so far.
And that, going down to the D3, I'm going to listen to that again.
Old town, so far.
It absolutely spot on the D3 from, I mean, what a jump. And this bit here looks, I mean, I've been looking at these lines for a very long time, and this looks like it's half below, half above. And what will happen with, I mean, look at here, the C#4 again, perfectly on the line. What will happen is, with auto-tune live, you'll get a balancing of the vocal. So it will sometimes be half below, half above, because it's a processor just working it out and spending as much time over the average of the A3 here as possible. But you can dial in a differential. So when you say, oh yeah, but this was slightly sharp, you know, by hardly anything at all, but that's the differential here on the line perfectly, but then a little bit sharp at the end, you could say, well, that's a little bit of the differential, but sliding down, nailing that line is just a bit weird. It does sound weird as well.
From the start.
And here we went up from that E3 all the way up to the B3, bang on to 0 cents. We then went up bang on C#4 to 0 cents. We then came down here to 0 cents, the B3, and we touch and maintain on the A3 here, and then we just come up to the G#3 and centralized over the F#3.
And I wanna tell you everything.
Now here, a little bit more variation, but here, over the line again.
Words
I say over, on top.
I never got to see the first time
And here, again, and here, again,
around.
and here, again. Now, and then flat,
And I
and here, and then we go a little bit flat, and then sharp.
remember everything.
I mean, on this mic as well, we've got reverb. I wonder if this is a mic that he's brought along himself in case he's asked to sing, and he picks this one up knowing that he's now dialed in the differential. So what we've got is either he's done that to try and cover himself, and I don't know, the production team don't know that this microphone he's using now is wireless but still going through auto-tune with the differential, or the TV show have applied it themselves to try and make him sound more accurate than he actually was. So, let's just listen on to this.
But when we were the children
Again, just that held note, again, perfectly over the D4.
playing
And here, over the D4.
this fairground.
And perfectly over the C#4.
Wish I was there with you now.
And perfectly over the B3. What I'm doing here is I'm going to time this performance. So we went from 52 to 22. So it's like just under 30 seconds worth of vocal. The reason that I'm giving you this time frame is that when we go back to some of the best voices of all time and the most accurate voices of all time, they, throughout a whole song, might hit lines, you know, 2 or 3 times in a row, maybe 4 times, and that's like the best of the best of the best. And that will happen throughout a song, that they'll be hitting lines. It's not a regular thing at all, because great voices have expression, and expression falls in between these lines. So now
It's funny how things
we've hit one line here, so that's kind of one.
never change in this old town. So far.
And 2 perfectly to 0 cents. You could argue here, but I won't count it. And here we did snap down, but I won't count that. So that's then now 3. That's a definite.
From the start.
And that's 4. That's 5. And so we're starting to get into ground here of some of the best vocalists of all time. 6. 7. And then I'll say ever so slightly flat here. Even though we do go up to the line, but I'm trying to give him as much benefit of the doubt as possible. 7 so far.
And
Again, even though that's centralized, I won't count
I
it.
wanna tell you everything.
And again,
Well,
I mean this. Again, that's 8. I've got to count that. It's directly over the line.
I never got to see the first
That's directly over the line as well. 9.
time around.
10.
And I remember.
And even though this is, you know, pretty much over the line, I won't count that. Here, perfectly over the line. 11.
Everything. But when
Perfectly over the line. 12.
we were the children.
That's perfectly over the line, but the top bit is a little bit above, so I won't count that.
Playing in this fairground.
13, is that?
Wish I was there with you now.
And 14. And then we kind of rise up at the end there. So that's the end of the video. So was that 13 or 14 times that we've hit lines, and in a 30-second performance to hit A440 perfectly to 0 cents 14 times, that just doesn't stack up. So unfortunately, I mean, my professional opinion of this is that the part where he's asked to sing naturally is tuned. I mean, even just looking at it like this, tuned, 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 tuned. It is absolutely tuned. Like this vocal accuracy is impossible with human vocal cords. So, and like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's out singing. Yeah, 6. He's out singing the best voices of all time, and from a pitch perspective, that I've ever looked at throughout 10 years of analysis videos on the channel. But the fact that it's got that processed sound to it, you can hear there's something going on with this signal, that it is getting put in these places that it's not happening there naturally. Now, what would be interesting to see, and I know that people will say, oh, how can somebody first of all use auto-tune on an audition for a singing show, but then how can it be auto-tuned when he's supposed to be singing live? But we've seen it on other shows, The Voice, X Factor. They tune vocals, and this vocal might not have been very accurate, but the judges have to react to something that is seemingly accurate. So if it wasn't, they then do it in post-production to make it sound like it was accurate. So it seems like, oh, he got put through. I don't know if he got through or not, but I'm going to assume he did get put through. So they've got to justify why he's been put through. Why has he been put through? Because he's so accurate vocally. But this is a misrepresentation of his vocals. So as for whether there's anything deeper going on, whether they think that he'll be more popular with the auto-tune crowd, and that's why he's then put through because his natural voice is so accurate, but people don't know that it isn't actually his natural voice. It's basically just 2 sets of tuned vocals we've heard here. What would be interesting to know is if this was his mic, that he's just going through his auto-tune again with a differential set in. You can see here, it's not actually that offset, but whether he's done it or whether the show has done it. If the show have done it, it means that it's been done for a reason, whether he just wasn't as accurate as they were hoping and then they put him through, so they've got to justify why he went through, or whether they always knew he was going to go through, so therefore they just tune his vocal and he gets through and everyone thinks that he's a lot more accurate. And yeah, there's now the whole conspiracy about, we've had on different shows, whether somebody's been tuned because it's a contestant they want to go far, might not want to win it, but they want them to go far, and they might then get signed to the affiliate label for the show, and it's all done with them knowing what kind of artist they want. And they might have wanted an auto-tuned artist to then sign to the label. But anyway, thank you guys for requesting this one for tonight. As always, keep those requests coming to requests@wingsofpegasus.com. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!